I want to talk a little bit about how horses learn and how we can teach them to learn new skills. A very useful type of learning for horse training is called associative learning, which is when an animal associates a stimuli or a cue with a learned response, which you can think of as a behavior we want them to perform or a desired behavior. There are two types of associative learning, that's operant conditioning and classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is simple, so we'll tackle that first. Classical conditioning is a learning process where a neutral stimulus becomes associated with a naturally occurring stimulus, which then elicits an automatic response. In the case of my horse Baltica, she has learned that she goes into a small pen to eat her breakfast shortly after a person goes into the feed room around 8 o'clock in the morning. Now, when she sees a person arrive in the morning at 8 a.m. to go into the feed room, Baltica anticipates breakfast. She comes to the small pen and paces nearby until feeding time. She has been classically conditioned to go to the small pen and pace at 8 o'clock in the morning. Operant conditioning is a little more complex. It's a learning process we can use to train horses voluntary behaviors, where the behaviors are what we want them to perform and are influenced by the consequences that happen after they perform those behaviors. Behaviors are followed by rewards or reinforcement, and they're more likely to be repeated, while behaviors followed by punishment are less likely to occur. Positive reinforcement is one type of operant conditioning where we add something desirable that the horse likes to increase the likelihood of a behavior. For example, giving a horse a treat or a scratch behind the withers for offering the desired behavior. In positive reinforcement, we often use a secondary reinforcer like a vocal cue or a click to help identify the exact moment the horse performs the desired behavior, and the horse will learn that when the secondary reinforcer occurs, the reward is soon to follow. This helps account for the timing of reward delivery that can be a problem if not done correctly in positive reinforcement. Negative reinforcement, on the other hand, involves removing something aversive that the horse doesn't like or some type of pressure to increase the likelihood of a behavior that happens when the reinforcer is removed. For example, stopping whip tapping when the horse offers the desired behavior. These two, positive and negative reinforcement, can be used together in combined reinforcement. This is where pressure is used to elicit a desired behavior, and when the behavior is performed correctly, the reward is delivered. This is a very effective way of communicating to the horse what the desired behavior is and when they have done it right. Two other types of operant conditioning are positive and negative punishment. Positive punishment is adding an unpleasant stimulus to discourage a behavior. For example, popping a horse in the nose for nipping at you. While this may discourage the horse from nipping, the handler won't truly understand why the horse was nipping, and the horse has now learned that the handler can be a threat that delivers pain. Routine use of positive punishment can set the baseline for more problematic horse behaviors going forward and can even lead to labeling a horse unmanageable unnecessarily. Negative punishment means removing something the horse likes to discourage a behavior, and it can be the most difficult operant conditioning concept to understand. One example is taking food away from the horse while standing at the trailer if he is pawing. You can imagine this might not work very well, as the presence of hay is not likely why the horse is pawing. Removing the hay without understanding why the horse is pawing and without helping the horse learn a different behavior is likely to backfire, possibly causing the intensity of the pawing to increase, as the hunger reflex is also a behavioral driver. Neither positive punishment nor negative punishment are very effective training. But positive punishment in particular is fairly common because it comes naturally to us as humans and emotional animals to act out. It doesn't require much thinking and feels like a quick and effective method since the undesirable behavior usually stops immediately. But the horse hasn't truly learned anything, and as a training methodology, it does little to create a calm, educated, and safe horse.